If you've ever thought South African politics was boring, think again. Imagine this. A young firebrand from the EFF, Sihle Lonzi, steps into a parliamentary committee room armed with facts, boldness, and an unfiltered mouth. A few minutes later, boom, he's kicked out. Not for violence, not for threats, but for asking questions.
No problem. You also just interrupt me when I speak, Chair. But you can finish so that I can have my 15 minutes.
No, I'm done.
DG, are you aware of the appointments of boards in the cities?
The DG will not answer that question.
I'm not asking him if he has appointed them. I'm asking him, is he aware? He's the DG of higher education. You said he doesn't appoint. No problem. I'm not asking him if he has appointed. I'm saying, are you aware, as the Director General of Higher Education, of appointments of board chairpersons of cities?
DG won't answer that question. Two members have already told you that we have resolved there. We're going to deal with the issues. They've told you no one is afraid of engaging there. So we're going to get to that part. Are you going to ask related questions to this thing or not?
DG, are you aware that the son of Gwede Mantashe has been appointed as one of the chairpersons of the city boards?
Yeah, Honorable Cesar.
Chairperson, could you please assist the committee, because now we're going to lose confidence in you as the chairperson of this session or this committee. Now the meeting is degenerating, you know, and some of us would rather be doing other work of parliament and other work of the organization that deployed us here. Could you please ensure that you take the house back to order? We are really degenerating and we do not want to see this.
Thank you very much, Honorable Khabo. Yes.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Thanks for the opportune moment.
No, I've not finished my 15 minutes, Chair. You are going to have to kick me out here. I'm going to utilize my 15 minutes. When other members are using their 15 minutes, I keep quiet. Don't disrupt anyone. People were asking questions here to these people. You even come in and say, no, but that's something for the legal. But you don't stop them from asking the question. You are shielding these people. Why? Why can't the DG say it himself? Why must you be the lawyer of the DG? Why must you be the spokesperson of the department?
Yeah,
I've got 15 minutes.
I've asked you to
I've got 15 minutes.
No, I've asked you to leave our meeting.
DG,
and
are you aware that the son of Gwede Mantashe has been appointed as one of the chairs of the city board?
I am going to ask security to escort you out.
DG.
Because you are now disrupting our meetings.
DG.
Order, Chair.
No, it's fine. I've asked
DG.
I'm waiting for security to come.
We're not going to come here to protect the department. These are skills authorities. We're sitting with almost half of the population of young people in South Africa. They are unemployed. At least 2.5 million of those people are NEET.
You know,
they are not in education, they are not in training, and then we've got sitters that must put their family members, that must put their friends, that must put ANC members to loot higher education, and then we're told here that we can't ask those questions. We're not here to come and be bodyguards of the department. We're not here to speak on behalf of the department. We're here to speak for the youth. We're here to speak for the students in South Africa. They must know what is happening in the cities, what is happening in the boards. We're not going to allow it. We're not here to protect the department. We're not here to protect the department.
You can't be given problems.
I've got 15 minutes. I must be allowed to utilize my 15 minutes.
Who comes late to a meeting?
I must be allowed to utilize my 15 minutes.
And dictate the terms of operations. We can never allow that thing. We're also members of this parliament.
I will never come here to protect the department.
We're not depending on the department.
We must come here and ask questions, and then these people don't even respond to the questions.
On something that is not even part of the agenda.
Won't happen.
Why must we continue entertaining it?
Won't happen.
We're not here for people who are going to come
Won't
and clap
happen.
for likes on Facebook.
It's not going to
We'll
happen.
never accept that behavior and
It's not
attitude.
going to happen.
It's not as if we cannot degenerate to this level.
Not going to happen.
We can degenerate to this level.
Not-
We are both young people.
not going
We can
to
take
happen.
each other head on, toe to toe,
No
pound to
problem.
pound. We've got that energy.
No
as
problem.
if-
You have
but
your 15
us
minutes,
being
I have my
quiet
15
does not
minutes.
mean that we're
You have
afraid
your
of
15
it.
minutes, I have my 15 minutes.
This honorable member is wasting our
You have
time.
your 15 minutes, I have my 15
Parliamentary
minutes.
Protection Services, I've called for them for some time.
But we are saying to you, Chairperson, if you are afraid of
You are protecting corruption. Why? Why am I being chased out? Because this chairperson is protecting corruption. The son of Cohete, the son of ministers is kept to be appointed illegally sitters. I'm asking a question and I must be dragged out because this chairperson is protecting corruption. What do I do? 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 What do I do?
Yep, in a democratic parliament. Welcome to the drama that is South Africa's Portfolio Committee, where things are anything but predictable. Now, let's unpack exactly what went down, why it happened, and what it means for South Africa's political climate. Because, let's be honest, this isn't just about a young MP being booted. This is about power, accountability, and the uncomfortable truth that not everyone wants to answer the tough questions. So buckle up, because this story is juicier than a parliamentary buffet on budget day. Sihle Lonzi isn't your average MP. The man is young, bold, and doesn't come to parliament to sip water and nod. He comes armed with a mission, to speak truth to power. And if that makes people uncomfortable, well, too bad. On the day in question, Lonzi was participating in a portfolio committee meeting, a space designed for oversight, discussion, and yes, tough questions. But what started as routine quickly turned into fireworks. Lonzi began by grilling a department head about allegations of corruption tied to a multi-million rand procurement process. It wasn't a friendly question. It wasn't sugar-coated. It was direct. Who got the contracts? Were proper processes followed? And where exactly did the money go? Simple questions, but you could almost feel the room temperature drop with every syllable. Now here's where it gets wild. Instead of answering, the chairperson of the committee, clearly rattled, accused Lonzi of being disruptive. Not rude, not defamatory, just disruptive, for asking the kind of questions taxpayers would expect any competent MP to ask. And just like that, with a quick flick of procedure and a ruling from the chair, Lonzi was ordered out. Gone. Ejected. Like a fan booing too loudly at a soccer match. Except this isn't a stadium. It's Parliament. Supposedly the beating heart of a functioning democracy. So what happened next? Well, the EFF was quick to call out what they saw as political censorship. They argued that Lonzi was being silenced not for breaking rules, but for daring to expose what others wanted hidden. The party released a fiery statement, calling it an act of cowardice, a slap in the face of accountability, and a warning sign that democratic processes are being manipulated to protect the elite. And let's be honest, whether you love the F or not, that's a conversation worth having. Meanwhile, back in the committee, everyone pretended like nothing happened. As if removing a duly elected MP for asking questions is just part of a day's work. The chairperson doubled down, saying that committee proceedings must be respectful and orderly. But let's think about that for a second. If orderly means no hard questions, then what exactly is the point of oversight committees? Are they there to clap and nod, or to hold government departments accountable? This isn't just about Lonzi. This is about the growing tension in South Africa's political institutions. On one side, you have young, outspoken politicians who are tired of the same old answers. On the other, entrenched leadership who are clearly uncomfortable being questioned. It's a generational clash, a philosophical battle, and frankly, a power struggle. And right now, it seems the old guard is using the rules to silence the new wave. Let's zoom out a bit. The portfolio committees in South Africa are meant to play a critical role. They scrutinize government departments, debate budgets, and investigate issues raised by citizens. It's supposed to be one of the places where democracy shines brightest. But in reality, these committees are often sleepy, performative, and allergic to real scrutiny. Until someone like Sihle Lonzi shows up, shakes the table, and reminds everyone what their job actually is. And look, Lonzi isn't perfect. He's brash. He's loud. And sometimes, yeah, he pushes boundaries. But isn't that exactly what we need in a country grappling with corruption, service delivery failures, and a yawning gap between rich and poor? If the biggest scandal of the day is an MP asking questions too aggressively, then we've completely missed the plot. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The public reaction to this saga has been mixed. Some people applauded Lonzi, saying he's a breath of fresh air in a room full of stale politics. Others felt he was grandstanding. But no matter where you stand, one thing is clear: this moment exposed the fragile state of political dialogue in the country. It revealed just how uncomfortable some leaders are when the spotlight turns to them. And let's not forget the optics. A young black MP getting booted for asking about corruption. That doesn't sit well in a country still haunted by inequality and political gatekeeping. It sends a message, whether intentional or not, that only certain voices are allowed to be loud. That democracy is okay, as long as it's polite. But the truth is, progress is never polite. Change is disruptive, and sometimes, the only way to move forward is to ruffle a few feathers. In fact, if you look at democracies around the world, some of the most important reforms started with someone refusing to play nice. Asking hard questions, calling out the hypocrisy, and refusing to be silenced. So maybe Lonzi isn't a troublemaker. Maybe he's doing exactly what a public representative should do. And maybe the real scandal is how quickly the system moved to shut him down. There's also a lesson here for other young politicians watching from the sidelines. You can follow the rules. You can show up on time. You can dress the part. But the moment you touch a nerve, challenge power, or question the status quo, you become a problem. And that, friends, should concern us all. Now imagine if this kind of energy was welcomed instead of punished. Imagine committees where tough questions were celebrated, where transparency was the goal, where oversight wasn't a rubber stamp, but a real tool for change. We'd be having very different conversations in this country. So where does this leave Sihle Lonzi? Well, if history tells us anything, it's that getting kicked out of powerful rooms is often a badge of honor. It means you're doing something right. It means you're being heard. And it means that the people who are supposed to answer to the public are feeling the heat. That's not a failure. That's a sign of impact. And if the goal of Parliament is to represent the people, then maybe it's time the rules caught up with reality. Because the people are frustrated. They're angry. And they want answers. If Parliament isn't the place for that, then what is? So let's end with this. You don't have to agree with Sihle Lonzi. You don't even have to like his style. But ask yourself this: do you want a parliament of yes men? Or a parliament of question askers? Do you want comfort, or accountability? Because if tough questions are now a crime, then South Africa's democracy is in far more danger than we think.